Does Suboxone show up in a drug test? And that's a very, very good question. This is Dr. B, continuing with the video series where I try to answer your questions in the shortest, most concise, most comprehensible manner regarding issues that have to do with addiction and more particularly with opiates. I try to answer questions that are commonly asked of me or show up on the internet, and I try to keep it to a few minutes. Please always remember that there are longer podcasts and video series that go much deeper into certain issues that may be of interest to you. In addition, if you ever have any questions, please go ahead and write your questions below, and I can go much more deeply into any topic of your choosing that is related or sometimes otherwise. And the answer to that is it can, if the drug test has an assay or has the capability of testing for Suboxone. That being the case, some places they do, some places they don't. More often and more commonly nowadays, you're starting to see that they go ahead and test for Suboxone. A lot of the federal guided drug screening tests, which did not used to test for Suboxone, now do so, including a lot of the uh, incarceration, prison, county jails. Any of those facilities are starting to test for Suboxone. So it may and it may not, depending if the facility or the person or the institution that is testing it is looking for it. And more commonly nowadays, it's starting to show up where they go ahead and test for it. That being said, if you're asking that question, which I find more interesting and a more interesting conversation about it as well. If you're asking that question, my question to you is, why are you asking that? And here is what I want to say to you. If you're concerned about Suboxone showing up on a drug test, urine test, you would only be concerned, or you should only be concerned, if you're buying your Suboxone on the street, which I do not recommend, okay? If you're buying it on the street, and it shows up on the test, depending on who is testing it, what institution is testing it, and why they are testing it, you may have some problems. Now, if you're getting a prescription from a doctor and everything is legitimate and you're on Suboxone for the appropriate reasons, it may, more likely than not, it's going to be for opiate abuse disorder. Sometimes it is for pain. If it's for either one of those things and you're under the care and supervision of a physician with legitimate prescriptions, okay, most of the time, if you have Suboxone in your urine, you should go to your physician, or before you take the test, talk to your physician about writing you a letter so that you can show it to the appropriate parties that are testing you for possibly a job, possibly a parole officer, and let him know what it's for. He should be more than happy to write you a letter explaining that this is medication that is supervised and it's a legitimate script. Now, there's one more small caveat to that. Sometimes even that's not good enough because there's a lot of social issues and controversies with this medication. And so you might be getting a job, or you might have a parole officer, or whatever the reason is. You might actually be in a situation where you might say to yourself, yes, I am under a doctor's supervision with legitimate prescriptions for Suboxone, but yet this showing up in my urine is going to cause me problems. I suggest that in that case, you still approach it with honesty, integrity, and going down the right route. I would have a conversation with your physician. He will ask you what it's for, who it's going to, and hopefully, and this is what I do often for my patients, I tell them, hey, let me give that guy a call first. In addition, when I write the letter that you are on Suboxone and it is a legitimate prescription and you are a great patient. And what I write to them is that basically, look, this patient is under my care. He's using Suboxone. He's been a model patient. Suboxone should not have any euphoric effects, should not have any, cause any cognitive dysfunction. This person has been on it for this long. Please feel free to contact me if there's any questions. I will have the patient give permission so that you can contact me, and let the physician be your advocate in the fact that you have concerns about having Suboxone in your urine, and whatever it is that you are, or whoever it is that is asking for the drug test, and if you already think they may not be friendly to you being on Suboxone, let the physician know, let them advocate for you, let them explain to them, and then go from there. That is what I usually do, and I have not really had too many problems, okay? If you have any further questions about this, please put it in the comments below. Have a great day.